Thank you so much for coming back to my channel to see part 2 of this vlog. If you haven't seen part 1 though, click the link up there. Well, I really don't know how to tell you this, but I tripped and I fell into a really lovely brunch place, and as I fell, I must have uttered the words, "Vegan pancakes please with maple syrup." My pancakes arrived with passion fruit on top, which is my all-time favourite fruit, my first passion fruit of the year. I just remembered how much I absolutely love eating alone. I love eating alone in restaurants, I think, because you really get the time to really focus on what you're eating. Speaking of eating though, I am fully prepared to be rolled all the way home to Bristol. I don't understand how anyone can come here and not just want to eat absolutely everything in sight. I think sometimes it's quite good that I'm vegan, because in places like France, where there are vegan options definitely, but most often than not, things are made with butter, eggs, whatever. It's like I have some form of limitation. I keep telling myself my body is an instrument, not an ornament, and I'm using this instrument to just enjoy my surroundings and create as many sense memories as I can, and that to me involves eating. I had absolutely no idea there's a Roman Colosseum in Bordeaux, or at least the remaining sections of it. I'm currently sitting in the botanical garden. I just saw something that legit made my jaw drop. Somebody behind me, some like older guy with a really nice camera, held out the camera in one hand and on the other held out his hand. Can you shut up please and try and talk? Fermez la bouche. That's shut up in French. Just in case they don't speak English. This guy had a camera in one hand and then he held out his hand, and then a small, like, I don't know what kind of bird it is because I'm really not that close. Looked like kind of robin size, just perched on his hand, and he must have taken a picture of it and it flew away. And it was so like wholesome. I'd love to try that, but knowing my luck, one of those French geese would land on my arm. Look at the size of that goose. Who gave you permission to be that big? What I'm really loving about this... Oh my goodness, wow. Yeah, what I really love about this park is that actually everywhere you walk, it smells like flowers. Oh my gosh, they're doing it again. Do it before... Yes, do it. Yes, yes. Woo, wait, whoa. That is so cool. Good morning, today is Sunday. So yeah, I'm gonna go around some markets and then I'm gonna go back to my Airbnb later because I'd like to make some bases. I'm sitting in a little cafe next to the big clock tower. I'm very excited because I've just found a vegan canale. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So, just get shoved in. Oh wow, hard on the outside and quite like crispy, with a faint taste of rum, which is really delicious. Yeah. The centre is really soft, and that's the kind of texture of that. It's so good. Il fait pleu! Went to the market by Port of the Moon. I bought some chips and a little glass of rosé as well. And I sat on the pier eating them, and then it was like all of a sudden torrential rain. So let's go back to the Airbnb, and I thought I'd stroll into a big church to get some shelter. As soon as I entered, the biggest clap of thunder I've ever heard. It's like, oh, I don't think God is really a fan of my presence here. So I'm going to leave. And as I stepped out of the church, another huge clap of thunder. And strangely, coincidentally, I've not heard any more thunder. So maybe that was me.
Is it me? Am I the drama? I don't think I'm the drama. Maybe I am. Am I the villain? I don't think I'm the villain.
So I'm gonna do some sound design work now. I don't think I've actually addressed it, but I do want to just say that this video is probably quite random. It's like half, is it a travel vlog? I don't really know what it is. I'm just kind of, you know, going with the flow and filming whatever I want to. But I do look back at some of the footage and think it's all a little bit random. I'm feeling quite reflective though on my ability to like manifest things, because I said to myself months and months and months ago, perhaps at the start of this year, it's now May, prior to me booking this trip, I said to myself, I do have this bit of work coming up. I feel really called to go abroad on my own and to have that experience. And I did it. And I know that to some people that might seem like, okay, you had an idea and you followed through. Well done, good for you. It's very easy to have ideas and not follow through. Particularly if you're going through a bit of a patch where you're not as confident as you usually are. And I think that coming out of the pandemic, that is definitely how I've felt. Particularly about my ability to do things, my ability to come away on my own, or my ability to create and things like that. So I feel really, I feel empowered by this trip for many reasons, but one of them is definitely my ability to commit to things that I want to do, because that's been something that I have struggled with quite a lot, is I think to myself, oh, I want to do that in my life, I want to do that, I want to do that. But I get very sidetracked, and I get sidetracked and distracted by what other people do around me. That part of me that gets sidetracked and distracted and is looking at what everybody else is doing and comparing and thinking, oh, am I too old to be doing this, or whatever, time is running out, blah, blah, blah. That part of me, I'm leaving it here in France. I'm saying goodbye to her. I'm au revoir, au revoir. I'm gonna metaphorically wave goodbye to that girl and commit to my vision more and believe that I have visions for a reason. You know, I'm drawn to these experiences because I should be doing them. There is a reason I'm being called to do X, Y, and Z. It's not because I'm thinking, oh, that would make me look cool or whatever. No. I often think that when you desire something which seems cool from the outside, like, for example, you want to be a pop artist or you want to be a producer or something like that, it's almost like you're putting it on to impress people or seem interesting, because actually everybody wants to do that, but what makes you so special? That's kind of how I've looked at it. No, I want those things because I'm really bloody good at them. I heard something about a year ago now which has really stuck with me. I can't remember who the interview was with. Anyway, whoever was speaking said that there is always going to be somebody somewhere who thinks what you're doing is really, really cringe. Just taking this, for example, I don't have a huge channel. I'd love one. I'd love to build a community on YouTube, and that's what I'm trying to do, definitely. But I don't have one at the moment. So is what I'm doing embarrassing to some people? Yeah, probably. But at least I'm doing something. These are my rainy afternoon Sunday thoughts. I'm gonna finish my coffee and then I'm gonna do some sound design work. Last night I planned out how I want this preset pack to look. You know, I know how many sounds I've got to do, a breakdown within that number of how many drums, how many basses, how many pads, whatever. I'm just gonna create and create and create and then pick the top 50 essentially. But I really, really hope that people love these sounds, because so much love and care has gone into creating them. I'm smiling to myself because I've just found a note on my laptop dated August last year, and one of my goals was a phase plant preset pack, and that is literally what I'm here making now. I don't know what the lesson is there, but believe to achieve. Just taking a little coffee break. I'm trying to make the most of the coffee in this apartment because I'm so fussy when it comes to coffee. I really love it when I'm making a preset and I'm starting to make a kick, for example, and then I fiddle around with a snap-in, namely disperser. It's always disperser, one of my favorites. And I'll move it slightly and I'm like, oh, that's a great setting for a snare, or oh, that sounds a bit like a tom, or whatever it is. And then I find that I have to then make, from that original kick, something completely different just because of the snap-ins that I've used. I'm really not very sure how to pronounce them, but obviously I bought another. I wanted to tell you this story because I think it's really funny. They're not soft. They're not soft because there's so much sugar in them. and rum. They get really hard on the outside. But yesterday when I was at the wine museum, at the end the guide offered everybody who was doing my tasting one of these cakes, and it wasn't a vegan one, so I said, oh no thank you. You have it, like, you've been great today, you have it, treat yourself, or something like that. And she goes, and she just picks it up and just goes, if you're used to it, sure. Like, they're not chewy. We were the last tour of her day. She had probably been drinking wine since first thing in the morning. If I'd been drinking a lot of wine, which of course I haven't, I'd probably have shoved this in as well. I've got something in my teeth. I'm so sorry for how long a bit of tomato has been in my teeth. That's the thing when you're traveling alone, there's no one to tell you. Well, I want one of these. Good morning. Yes, I know what you're thinking. My hair looks absolutely atrocious. You know what it's like when you come on holiday and you're only packing hand luggage and you just don't have the space to take everything you'd usually use. That is how it's been for me. But anyway, we move. It's my last day here, which is sad, but I've just started my period. So I'm taking that as my body needs to go home now because of my new bleeding state. I've just been thinking about those pancakes pretty much all morning. So it's really sweet the waitress like remembered my order from 2 days ago that I was last here. This is where I'm going to close out the video. In about 15 minutes I'm going to go and get the airport bus and go home. I'm going to miss it so much here, but I'm so grateful for this experience, and I hope it puts into context maybe some of the sound design choices. I'm so proud to be involved with this project. I'm really happy that I get to do it. I feel genuinely really honoured. I will be shouting about it for quite some time, and it's made me definitely think that I'm going to do this more often as well. I'm feeling confident about being able to go and work in my home studio much more productively now as well, which is great. Anyway, I need to stop rambling because I really don't have too much longer left, and I'm gonna just close my eyes and sit here on the balcony and enjoy it for a couple minutes before I go. If you have made it to the end of this video, I do really appreciate you sticking around, and I look forward to seeing you in my next one.